way to an appointment, and so I just have a few minutes, and I wasn't sure what time I would be able to pop on, and so I want to make sure that I give you this tip, like I promised, of how to run, like, I don't know, let's say it's maybe two tips here. How to run a successful home-based business. So my friend and I, we are going to do some videos together because we just always have a great time. Every time we're on the phone, we were on the phone for an hour and a half last night, and I think there's just supposed to be a quick call, but we just kept having all these aha moments, and it was awesome and amazing. So we are definitely going to do some videos together for you guys. But what I did want to share was we were talking about, our home-based business, and we were talking about how to help people become more successful in it, and we were talking also about, excuses that people come up with. Maybe they are afraid to fail, or they're afraid of, success, having success, not having success. I mean, it's always a deeper thing. So if you are having a hesitation, or you are not being as successful in your home-based business as you would like to be, then you do want to dive deeper into not just saying failure or fear, but you want to figure out, like, what is that failure or fear coming from? Is that maybe something somebody had said? Is that something that you gave up on in the past? Another quick thing was making a different choice is not a failure. That's the ability that we have as humans to make a different choice. If you decided that you were going to try something new, and then you decided that that's not for you, you're not a failure because you didn't succeed at it. You just made a choice that it's not for you. And so even your home-based business, or if you're an employee somewhere, you have every right to, go to the job, and you're like, oh, this might be fun, this might be good, or I'm going to give it a try, and then you go and you do it for a day, or you figure out what the job entitles, and you decide, like, wow, am I really going to enjoy this? Will I be able to do this? Will I have fun in this? Whatever your thing is, you want to see if you're going to be able to do the work that the employer requires of you. So in your home-based business, you are the employer as well as the employee, because you are working for yourself. You but let's just say you're probably delegate anything yet, and you're not going to have an assistant yet, because you have to learn how to do this business in order to teach others who you're going to delegate that work to. Or if you're going to have assistants, you're going to have to teach them, like, this is what I do, and now I'm going to be busy doing these other things, so I need you to take over this part of my business for me, or help me with my business. But you need to know what to do so that you can instruct the people that you're going to delegate, or your assistants, in what to do. So you want to have that first-hand knowledge on how to accomplish the task, how it's executed successfully. Okay, so here's the to break out your calendar and to commit to a time. Bubble that in your calendar. Like, I like to use different colored pencils, right, for different kinds of things. Appointments have one color. Things that I teach have a different color. Doing the sending out packets and things like that. Whatever my job entails, like that, reaching out to people, that one has a different color. So, but here's the thing: is you could pick one color for your home-based business too, just to start off, just to put that time on the calendar. I think the thing that I hear too often is that a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't have time." Like, you sign up to do your own business from home, but then you're realizing, like, how busy you are, you don't have time, you don't know where to fit it in. I want you to picture yourself as the employer and the employee. So that means as the employer, you're going to hire yourself to do the tasks, to get yourself the results, to bring in the income, to pay the boss, which is you, so that you have a business. If you don't bring in any income, you don't have a business. So business means that you are bringing in income. Um, so I'm like, it's not willy nilly, like you look on your calendar and you're like, okay, when can I sit and work on this home based business? You put that in your calendar. So let's say you're just starting off and you want to dip your toe in and you want to see how this works. Put in an hour a week. We all have an hour a week. I mean, you will realize that if you really get structured with your calendar, you will realize that you have many hours out of the week that you are not, accounting for. You have many hours throughout the week. But we get in the habit of saying, I'm too busy, I don't have enough time. Those are just habit things, but we're not consciously looking at the calendar, writing out when we have that free time. Also, I have ADHD, and I was sharing with my friend last night, like, I multitask. I love my certain shows on Netflix, but I don't just watch the show on Netflix and waste time. Like, I have packets that I send out of samples to people. I have some, follow up that I can do with people or reach out. And I do that while the same time I'm watching my favorite show right now, which is Ozark, you guys. Um, I just, oh, so, so that's kind of like my guilty binge pleasure right now. And for me, it's okay because I'm not just sitting there watching the show. I'm actually doing my work at the same time. Now, this is not work where I consciously have to talk to somebody and really be involved at the moment. I'm not watching the show and then teaching a virtual class. But I am watching the show and I'm putting together my packets to send out to people. I am watching the show and shooting out a few invitations to some classes that I'm doing virtually. That one is easy and I can do that and watch the show. So it's like if you have to send something out to somebody or package something up, I mean, you possibly can, multitask. If that's for you. But sidebar, that really wasn't what I was going to share, but I was just thinking, just in case there's like more excuses or you're bored, that's my thing, you guys, because my ADHD, like I couldn't picture myself putting together packets. I probably would get bored. So I'm the kind of person that has to have music going or I have to have a show going. Not necessarily that I'm watching it, but that it's sound and it's something else going while I'm doing that. The silence while I do that just doesn't really work well for me. So you have to figure out what's going to work well for you. You don't, somebody else needs complete silence while they're going to, let's say, they're getting their stuff ready to send out because they have a home-based business. But other people might be like me where they need the radio going or they need a show just going on the background. So you need to figure out what's going to work for you and help you to be more successful. But let's finish and let's do that tip on the time management. So sometimes we can get overwhelmed and there's so many things that we can do and so many ideas and so many people doing some different things, but there is like a way to be successful. There is, training, and there is like cookie cutter. There is that way. These are the steps, the few steps that you take in order to have success. Now you can always put in your creativity or different kinds of fun things or holiday things or whatever ideas are popping up from yourself or somebody else. But let's say there's like 3 steps in your home-based business that's like you connect with somebody, you share what your product or service is, and then you either demonstrate that, share with them, have them try it, and then you're like, hey, is this something that you would like? And then you close the deal, possibly, if it's something that they would love to add into their life, and then you've exchanged your time and value for money, and now your business is successful because now you've exchanged your time and value for money. So the time thing is write your home-based business on your calendar. Write, your family time. Write your spiritual time. Write your exercise time. write, if you have another job, that time. If you have 2 jobs, write that time. Write your home-based business on there. If your home-based business, if you're sprinkling that in and adding that in, write those other things that you already have commitments to first, and then commit to your home-based business. You might switch over time, and you might decide like, oh, I'm going to weed out the second job, or I'm actually going to weed out my one job and I'm going to commit more to the home-based business. Or you might just want to keep it as sprinkled in. You're going to decide. I mean, you're going to see as you go and how everything works for you, and everything like that. That's why the home-based business really is structured for every person in the way that they want to fit it in and run it. So all the commitments, everything that you were already doing, have to do, write those in your calendar first. Now sprinkle in your home-based business. So as the boss, you're going to say, hey, I need my employee to work 1 hour a week with making a few phone calls, sending out the samples, and then I need my employee to work another hour a week to do the class where everybody I've invited, and I've sent out some samples to and everything. And now I want to show them like, hey, how does this product and service work? Now I'm going to just put them all into one class. We're going to make this easy peasy, right? Because you're the boss, you get to decide. So let's just say you're the boss, you want to keep it easy peasy, and you want to say, hey, on Mondays I'm going to work 1 hour. That 1 hour, I'm going to spend a little bit of time reaching out to some people. And then also in that hour, I'm going to, create their samples and stuff and send that out to them so they have it in time for their class, right? And then let's say Friday I do a class, right? Let's say Friday I do a class. And so now you put in 2 hours. The employee, so the employer needs the employee to work 2 hours a week. He needs, or she needs, the employee to call a few people, send out a few packs, and invite them to a class. And then that class has to be a different time, right? So that's only 2 hours. We might think, oh my gosh, I have this home-based business, I don't have time. It's 2 hours. Maybe maybe it's 1 hour a week and you invite everybody to one class a month. It's all depending, right? How fast and how much does the employer want to get paid? That's going to determine on how much you work. I mean, that's just kind of how much effort and work you put into something, just like planting the seed, is how much you're going to get in return. Okay? But start off easy. But do put in your whole schedule, then put in your home-based business schedule. See yourself as the employee and the employer. So again, the employer, the boss, needs the employee to work an hour a week, maybe 2 hours a week. And let's just go with the 2 hours a week. One's going to be a class that you're going to show people, and the other one's going to be inviting people to the class and sending them out the supplies they need for their class. Can you put in 2 hours a week? Now, what if you put in 15 minutes, 15 minutes 4 times a week, and then you did a 1 hour class? So here's how you sprinkle it in, and that's how easy it is to look at it, you guys. Don't get overwhelmed. Put it on the calendar and commit to it, because you are the boss, you are the employee, and the employee needs to work for the boss in order to have a successful business. I hope that was helpful. Have a great day, you guys.